everyone. Today's story is personal. It's about waking up, breaking away from the 99%, and finally learning how to think like the 1%. But, this isn't just about money. This is about mindset, discipline, and doing the hard things most people avoid. So join me as I share the story of someone who applied Myron Golden's blueprint and discovered what it really takes to build wealth from the ground up. Let's dive in. Once upon a time, there was a guy named Danell. Now, Danell wasn't lazy. He worked hard. He followed all the rules, went to college, got a job, paid his bills. Month after month, year after year, he never moved forward. Rent was rising. Debt was piling up. And every time he got a little ahead, life would knock him 2 steps back. Sound familiar? Danell wasn't broke because he wasn't working. He was broke because he was thinking like the 99%. Then one night he came across a video of Myron Golden, the millionaire speaker, author, and wealth-building coach. Myron said something that hit Danell right between the eyes. You're not broke because you don't make money. You're broke because you're making money wrong. And that was it. Danell stayed up all night watching every Myron Golden video he could find. By sunrise, he had one goal, to do what the 99% won't, so he could join the 1%. So what does that really mean? According to Myron Golden, it starts with a different belief system. Most people think, I need a better job to make more money. But the 1% think, I need a better vehicle to build wealth. That vehicle? Well, it's almost never a job. It's usually a business, an investment, or maybe even a scalable skill. So Danell asked himself, what's my vehicle? He had no savings, no rich uncle, no fancy degrees. He did have a phone, an internet connection, and a willingness to learn. That's when Myron's words echoed in his mind. Your job is what you get paid to do, but your gift, that's what you were created to do. Danell started brainstorming. What could he teach? What skill could he offer? What value could he actually create? He wasn't a millionaire. He wasn't some kind of guru, but he did know how to repair credit. He'd done it for himself, and honestly, for a few friends too. That was his gift, and that would become his business. Now here's what the 99% would have done. Thought about it for months, waited until the time was right, talked themselves out of it. But Danell remembered success lives on the other side of discomfort. So he got uncomfortable. He launched a simple credit repair business using just Instagram and word of mouth. No excuses, no fancy logo, just value. And guess what? He made $1,500 in his first week. That wasn't life-changing money, but it was mind-changing. He realized I can create money, not just earn it. That's when he became unstoppable. So what does Myron Golden teach that's so different? Let me break it down for you. First, solve expensive problems. The 1% gets paid to solve problems that matter. Credit, taxes, investing, real estate, cash flow. Second, charge based on value, not time. Stop trading hours for dollars and start charging for transformation. Third, sell with purpose. Sales isn't about manipulation, it's about service. If you believe your product helps people, you have a responsibility to sell it. Fourth, invest in skill, not just stuff. The 99% spend money, the 1% invests it, especially in themselves. And finally, leverage and scale. Don't just work harder, build systems, create content, and automate what you can't duplicate. Back to Danell. Within a year, he'd grown his credit repair business to 6 figures. But it didn't stop there. He used that income to invest in real estate. He created a digital course. He even started mentoring others. He wasn't just making money, he was creating impact, all because he chose to do what the 99% wouldn't. Now here's the truth. Most people watching this won't take action. They'll nod, maybe feel inspired, and then go back to life as usual. And that's exactly what separates the 99% from the 1%. The 1% take action. They don't wait for permission. They don't chase perfection. They just start. So if you're serious about building real wealth, you've got to stop thinking like an employee and start thinking like an owner. You've got to stop asking, how much will this cost me? And start asking, what will this create for me? So what about you? What skill do you already have? What problem can you solve? And what knowledge are you sitting on that someone else desperately needs? If you want to crack the wealth code, you've got to stop following the crowd. The crowd is broke. The crowd is scared. The crowd is average. You were made for more. Here's Myron Golden's real message. Wealth isn't about luck. It's about laws. And honestly, the laws of wealth can be learned by anyone who's willing. So learn them, live them, and, do what the 99% won't. If this story lit a fire in you, don't let it die out. Let this be the moment you decided to think different, to act different, to build wealth on purpose. If Danell can do it, if I can do it, you absolutely can too. Now I want to hear from you. What's your first step toward the 1%? Drop it in the comments below. Let's build this wealth journey together. And if you found this helpful, like the video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Leave a comment so we can keep the conversation going. Thanks for watching, and remember, success is doing what most people won't, so you can live how most people never will.